If either you have an older Apple Watch or you picked up the latest generation Apple Watches, continue watching this video. So I'm going to go ahead and share with you amazing tips and tricks and some cool features that a lot of owners always overlook. Because I don't know if you look closely, but whenever you unbox your Apple Watch, there's no instruction guide really. Everything is basically online, or oftentimes it's hidden in plain sight. Instead of tapping play, you can tap anywhere on the screen to start the workout. So this video is all the important ones that you need to know about. And yes, I'll be sure to include the timestamps of everything in the description down below. Let's begin. Starting off is the capability to quickly switch between watch faces by simply swiping your finger, as you're seeing me do right here. This is a feature that was disabled and re-enabled and possibly disabled again, which you have to go in to manually turn this on. If you quickly go into your Apple Watch settings and launch the settings app and then go into the clock section, and from here, just enable swipe to switch watch face. And now you have the ability to switch between watch faces by just simply doing that, instead of long holding and rearranging them, or long holding to reorganize them. Now, if you have one of the newer Apple Watches that has an S9 chip, there's a couple of gestures you definitely need to take advantage of that's exclusive to your Apple Watch. So that's basically the Series 9, the Ultra 2, the Ultra 3, as well as the latest Series 10. This also includes the SE3 as well. And the way it works is like this. For double tap, tap your index finger and your thumb like so, and this will give you the ability to basically scroll. In this page, you can hands-free control your Apple Watch like this, because this will bring up your active activity. This also works if you're on an app as well. You can use this to basically hand-free just scroll. You can use this to answer or end calls, pause or play your media, as well as end alarms. I love using this feature, especially when I have my hands full, like I have something on this hand and preventing me from like tapping on my screen. If I have like a shovel or something like that, or if I'm cooking, I can just do that to like end the timer. Now the other gesture is wrist flip, which works extremely well, just like the double tap feature. Like say for example, if you want to dismiss like notifications, you just do that. And you just notice it took me back to the home page without me having to tap on the home button. This works extremely well for dismissing phone calls, notifications, as well as the timer. And you can combine the two as well. So if I'm using my active activity and I want to go back home, boom, easy as that. Now let's say you have a timer, you're waiting for paint to dry, you're cooking. By simply just activating Siri and just say 2 minutes.
2 minutes. Counting down.
It instantly just started a timer. But now let's say for example you change your mind, you like to extend the timer to that existing one. So to edit this timer, just simply activate Siri, change current timer.
How long do you want to change it to?
Additional 2 minutes.
Done.
So that's easy. So that's how easy it is to edit the current timer. Now a new feature that was recently added on iOS 26.2 is the improved sleep score. If you're somebody who uses the sleep score functionality on your Apple Watch, if you like to adjust the notifications, so you just want to be notified whenever you receive a good night's sleep, not when you had a worse one, you can now fully customize this. So in order to adjust this, you will go back on your iPhone and go ahead and launch the Health app. And then in here, just go ahead and tap on your iPhone, your photo picture right here. And then go into the notification. And you can just tap on sleep and then go into the sleep score notification. This is where you could actually check mark what notifications you like to see and what you don't want to see. So I don't care if I had a very high streak, or I do care, but I like to be mainly notified when I had a low or a very low sleep score. So that's how you could adjust that, so you're not always bombarded with everything else. The next thing I like to show you is a cool trick that's found in the Smart Stack. You see, if you have music playing nearby, the Smart Stack could ID them and show you the song that's playing right here utilizing Shazam. And to demonstrate, I'm taking a different device. I'm going to play a song. And right here, if we scroll down, it says Shazam recognize music. You could tap on it and it immediately begins identifying the song right here on your wrist. And bam, we have the song right there. And from here with Shazam, you could link an Apple Music account so you can add it to your music playlist if you decide. If your music stack isn't doing this automatically, you need to manually enable it. So by simply just hopping back into your settings, and then in the settings, go down to privacy and security, right in here, and then just go down into the microphone section right in here, and then go down and look for music detection, enable this. Now, another neat thing about these new Apple Watches, the Apple Watch Ultra, the Series 11, the Series 10, the Ultra 3, even the SE 3rd generation, is if you're listening to music on your wrist, you can utilize the internal speaker. So if we launch like the music app as an example, and you enter your playlist and you tap play, you can literally play the audio directly from the internal speaker of your watch. Now the control center is pretty cool. If you have an Apple Watch that supports satellite, you'll see a satellite icon right here, which you can actually program and add, which allows you to test the demo and see if you have good reception, connection to the satellite, to send a message, share your location, or signal an SOS emergency. So again, just hit Control Center, tap Edit, and then just add the satellite, which you'll be able to find in this row of columns right here, and you'll see satellite right there. But what I want to primarily show you is for those that have iPhone that supports Apple Intelligence. You see, if we go into the Focus tab right in here, and you go down, there's a Reduce Interruption, which utilizes Apple Intelligence. You can turn it on, and by turning this on, the icon is different, and it also changes it on your phone as well. But the beauty about this icon is only emergency notifications, like if your alarm goes off, your vehicle's alarm, somebody sends you an urgent text message, or it sounds important, you'll get that notification. But for everything else, like general questions like how are you doing, or hey, how are you, you won't receive a notification on your wrist. Same goes for on your iPhone. So it's definitely a powerful tool if you're trying to limit distractions, but you only want to be notified if it's an emergency. I love this Apple Intelligence Do Not Disturb feature. And then another cool thing you could do in here is, of course, you could use to Find My to locate your phone. In case you misplaced it, it'll play like a sound. And it will also use AirTag ability where you could tell if you're getting closer or further away. But not a lot of people know about this. Long holding on here will toggle the flashlight on your device in case you lost it or misplaced it in a dark room. But it doesn't just end there. You see, if you misplace your iPhone, you can launch the Find My app. And by launching it, I'm censoring this, but I did select my Apple Watch, and I could tap Play Sound. And it'll start playing sound on the Apple Watch itself, and it will utilize the heart rate sensor, so you can help locate it in case you left it in a dark room as well. And once you discover it, you can dismiss it. So it works both ways. And real quick, guys, if you've been enjoying this video so far, if you could kindly take 2 seconds to hit that like button and like, those really do help with the channel, as that allows the channel to be driven by you guys, the viewers, which is why you don't see brands for a sponsorship segment taking like a minute or two off your time. Thanks to you guys, we don't have to do that, and we don't need to rely on them. So I really do appreciate those that took the time just simply hitting the like button and like really does help out the channel. Let's carry on. Then another cool thing you could do in Control Center is if you activate theater mode and you cover your device is not only on silent mode, but if you receive a notification, you'll still feel it on your wrist. It just won't play sound. And you can use the digital crown to take a quick peek. And once you're done, you could use digital crown to cover it. That's why it's called theater mode. Perfect for the cinema. But it doesn't just end there, because if you use the flashlight app while you're in theater mode, it will automatically switch to red instead of the default white, because red is known to maintain your night vision in a dark room. And also is much less distracting in case you have to look for something you accidentally dropped on the floor during the theater. But you can still switch to the other modes that it has by simply swiping your finger. But in theater mode, it'll default to red, which is quite nice. Then, another great tool about the Apple Watch is the camera app. One of the most underestimated apps is the camera app due to the fact that it's basically a viewfinder right here on your wrist. Because as soon as it connects to our phone, here you can see that the pair phone, the camera is activated, and you can view what's going on right here. You also have access to the digital zoom as well. So you can actually zoom in and zoom out from the digital crown itself. And you do have additional settings you can select from. You can also change the camera too if you want to switch it to the back or the front camera. And of course, long hold lets you actually record a video. And you can just pause it like so. Powerful tool, especially if you like to get creative. You could technically use this as a baby monitor, a temporary baby monitor if you absolutely need to. I even see mechanics use this as like a little camera where you could get into dark or hard to reach areas and utilize the flashlight on the camera and look through stuff in dark places or harder to see places for mechanics. And another thing you might have seen is by launching the camera app or some supported apps on your Apple Watch, you also get the smart hint on the watch face, which will tap that you're using on your iPhone right here on your watch as well for quicker shortcuts. And then if you're somebody who uses the workout buddy whenever you start a workout, if we tap start, you could tap again to bypass the 3-second timer. But when you end the workout or during a workout, you understand like sometimes the workout buddy starts talking to you. Well, if you have AirPods that support the head gesture movement, or if you're using like third-party headphones like Beats, you can nod your head no, and it will actually just stop the workout buddy from talking to you. Or you can just toggle the pause and play button on the side of your earbuds. This will also end the chat as well. Workout buddy just decides to interrupt my conversation. I just simply just tap once and then it will just dismiss. Additionally, if you ever need to do like a transaction at a fair or something like that, but you don't like to give your personal information if you like to use Apple Pay, you can use tap to cash. Just simply activate your Apple Wallet and select the Apple Cash. And then from here, go down and you'll see tap to cash. Tap on it, enter the amount you're buying like a certain product or exchanging funds, tap continue, and then just double tap to confirm. And this animation will pop up showing you could either complete transaction from iPhone to Apple Watch or Apple Watch to Apple Watch. And simply just take their device and just tap on the screen, and like in that little animation will then soon start and will easily complete the transaction just like so. Again, no need to exchange contact information with that individual if you're just trying to basically send money out. Now the watch faces on the Apple Watch is highly customizable, and there's a lot of different settings you can select from, as well as third-party complications you can select from as well. Even the color selection is insane, as there are a plethora of many color choices to choose from. There's more on the iPhone too if you customize it from here. But once you customize a watch face and you have a friend who likes to also have your watch face, by simply just launching the watch app on your iPhone and then just go into your My Faces categories. Here you can see all your plethora of many different watch faces you created. But if there's one in particular your friend wants, you could just tap on it and hit the up share square icon right here. From there, just tap on their contact information or airdrop it to them and it'll instantly be added to their device. So that's how you can share your watch faces on your Apple Watch. Now, possibly one of the most underused features is probably the Compass app, which you can access by simply long holding the power button, and you'll see Compass Backtrack support. By simply sliding this like so, this also is available on other Apple Watches as well. You can record the path, so if you're walking your dog and you're going off the grid and you want to make sure you're following the correct path you took to get there, this app will allow you to backtrack. Because as soon as you zoom out, you can not only do like little check marks. So if you like to use like a certain path to like be marked here as like a campground or a sign, you can just select this and then it'll drop like a little pin like so. And then once you're ready to go back, you simply just hit this little back arrow and then just tap retrace path. And just like that, you'll just need to follow your line directions and this will get you back to where you started safely. And I used it so many times and it's extremely accurate. Again, it's a feature that's built into all the latest generation Apple Watches. It already has built-in GPS, and it does all that all for free. Now, there's a cool little feature that allows you to actually feel what time is it, or hear what time it is. You see, by going into your settings, and then we go into clock, right in here, if you scroll down, you can enable speak the time. You can allow it to be controlled by your silent mode, or always speak. So if your device is on silent, it will still speak out loud at the time. Or you could use digital to actually feel the current time. So right now our watch is not on silent mode. I'm going to switch to a different watch face, something easier for me to press. Because the less complications for this feature, the more consistent it will be. So by tapping on the screen,
11:43 a.m.
you heard Siri speaking out loud the time. But now if we go into our silent mode, we put our watch in silent mode, it's going to use haptic feedback for us to feel the time. So right now the watch is vibrating to let me feel the current time. So since it was 11 o'clock, it's using long taps for 10. So it tapped it 2 times to be 11. It does take a while to get used to, but you do have that ability. And then if you go back, you can also select Morse code too, if you're more familiar with that. Or you can select tasks, which gives you the time in 15-minute blocks. Personally, all this is basically a learning curve, which is why I primarily like leaving it to control with silent mode. But digital is the best one that works for me. And then if you like to monitor the battery life percentage, you can always tap on the battery percentage of your watch and scroll down, and it will show you all your other Apple devices right down here. Now, if you ever find yourself, now whenever you're navigating or using your Apple Watch, you find it that it's always constantly going to your watch face when you're still not done with the Apple Watch app itself, there's a setting you could adjust to change that. You see, if you go into your Apple Watch settings, in the main setting page, scroll down to General, and then scroll down until you find Return to Clock. By default, it'll always be always, but I like to select after a minute. Yeah, you could be a rebel and select an hour, but I think a minute is good enough. Because now, when I launch an app and I cover my wrist, but then I decide to like go back to the app itself, it will no longer just take me back to my watch face. It will do that automatically once 2 minutes. It's been longer than 2 minutes. So that's a good adjust app. And again, you also have the other option too. But I think it's a lot better than the default always. This way, whenever you put your wrist down and then get back on your watch, it's not gonna make you start all over. But if you like to separate it on like certain apps to return to the watch face, you can just scroll down and you can select the actual app itself. So if I want my activities to be custom to its own separate setting, and I like it to be an hour, now by having that selected, when I launch the activity app, it will stay on that app for after an hour. So a nice tool that's included on the Apple Watch for like the longest time is wire lock. By selecting this wire drop icon in Control Center, this will make basically your watch face unresponsive. Like water splashes, if you're showering, or you got your watch wet, or it's raining outside, you don't want to falsely like text somebody or accidentally like use your watch. But if you have kids or you're holding kids, you know, like they like to like tap on your wrist and stuff like that, you could enter wire lock mode to prevent them from falsely activating things or unlocking your home from your watch if they press something. And then of course you could just tap the digital crown and it will unlock itself. So I like using wire lock for that ability to prevent a toddler that I'm holding from accidentally doing something on my watch. Now when using CarPlay with a paired Apple Watch, it may become annoying receiving all of those turn-by-turn notifications, not just on your CarPlay head unit, but you may also notice that it also vibrates your wrist. If you don't like those notifications to also come through the Apple Watch, you could disable this. To perform this, you will need to go on your iPhone, and then just go ahead and launch the Apple Watch app. And then in here, go into notifications and go down into the maps section right in here. And this is where you can go in and turn off those turn alerts. So by disabling driving with CarPlay, you will no longer receive the turn-by-turn notifications on your wrist, just the vehicle head unit. And you could decide if you like to disable it or enable it whenever you have cycling, walking mode, or driving without CarPlay. You could turn it off right from right here. But other than that, there you guys have it. Those are a handful of amazing features, tips and tricks, things you definitely need to be aware of to get the best overall Apple Watch experience. Hopefully you found this video informative and useful. If you did, kindly appreciate if you could actually take 2 seconds to hit that like button and like. Those truly do help out the channel. And if you'd like to watch more, maybe you'd like to see some tips and tricks videos that show you some creative ways to disable or enable certain tools. But for CarPlay, highly recommend checking out that video over there where I show you how you could disable the auto play music whenever CarPlay is turned on. I show you all that and more in that video over there. Thank you so much for watching.